Hello my friends. Today I thought I'm going to show you a little bit behind the scenes of what it's really like to actually run a business. Now it is about 9 p.m. in the evening and I am just going to be labeling all of these jars, and I'm just getting ready for lots more wholesale. So obviously I'm filling the shelves, and the shelves are quite empty. I've literally sold out of almost everything I've been doing at the moment. I've hardly any soap or anything left. So it's time to get going on these. So because I've had so many wholesale orders, I've actually had to close my shop until I catch up because I had nothing left on the shelf. All of the stores that I stock have literally been buying everything. So, which is very exciting. That's really exciting. It's great. I don't want to put a negative on that. It's definitely exciting, but it also means that I'm kind of left trying to get some products back on the shelf here. So I thought, look, rather than just do this by myself, how about I show you a little bit about what I'm actually doing? So let's get making. So to start with tonight, I actually need to seal the outside of a number of these jars. Some of them I've sealed, a lot of them I have not. So anyway, I thought, look, oh my goodness, I have to seal these. So these are these darling jars. They have been done. And for any of my lovely friends that have been asking all about the Hydrostone, where to get it and so on, across Australia, it is sold out. So if you want to make jars, you can use jasmonite, castmonite. There's some of that available, but there's no there's no Hydrostone or hydrocal from Barnes, and that's where most of us would get it from. So anyway, I'm just going to give this one a bit of a seal. It's nice and easy, not too hard. And on the outside, honestly, I only give it one coat because most people don't want a super over shiny kind of jar. They just want a basic jar, and I need to at least seal these so that I can put the labels on because as you all know, it's been crazy busy around here. So you can kind of see it's a bit of a shiny, and that's literally what I do. I just sit it on the end of my hand, then I'm going to flip it onto the shelf just like that. Sometimes I don't paint the bottom until the next time because that way I can just sit it straight on its bottom. This will be dry in 20 minutes. If you can't tell, my face is very red because it's really hot in here. I'm trying to keep the heat to 25 degrees or more in here, just so that you make sure that these ones are beautiful and that we're going to seal them. So let's pop that one on there. Now I'll show you my new label. So basically what I used to do is I just had a plain brown kind of label on these candles because I didn't want to take away from the beauty. But what I've actually noticed is my whole range, if you can kind of see it, it all kind of has these beautiful pictures. Everything looks the same, and I'm trying really hard to keep everything the same. I have to give my hand a smack when I try and do something more creative, because the more creative you are, it means you're kind of going away from your brand a little bit. So I'm trying to keep to the brand, which is my linen backing, and then it has my picture. And a lot of it now actually has this one image on it, and all of these other images here I own the rights to. My daughter drew them, so which is very exciting. I use apps to create a lot of these images as well, and you have to pay for those apps. They're not free, and the reason you pay for them is that gives you the right to use them. If you don't pay, you can't use them, and so on. So there's a lot of other things involved, but anyway, that's a bit on that. And actually, I'll show you something I'm doing at the moment. Let me grab it. So this is my new one. I have not released it yet. This is actually a bit of a tester to see how it goes. This is my new pink clay mask. So it's really gorgeous. I'll open it because I'm going to keep one for myself to show you. That's what it looks like inside. I will actually have some recipes available on this. And I'm also going to be doing one that's going to be a beautiful moisturizing facial scrub with some olive oil granules, and that will come in a tube. So I'm working really hard on a lot of these things behind the scenes. And if you're on my Patreon, you will see in the recipe section, if you're on the $7.50, sort of tier or up, you'll be able to get these recipes. If you're not, you'll be able to purchase them with the PDF. So anyway, that's just a little bit about that if you want to purchase them. And but a lot of recipes I give away for free, but some of them that I spend a lot of time on will be on there. And I'm actually coming out with some digital books. One will be all about bath bombs, one will be all about lotions, one will be all about soap, and so on, with some recipes in each one. And I really hope that does help people, you know, because a lot of people only want one kind of area that they're concentrating on. So anyway, that's a little bit about that, my loves. So tonight though, like I said, with my little trusty brush and my sealing, we're going to seal them. And I can tell you now, this is pretty much dry already. Not totally dry, but pretty much dry, just in a few minutes that we've been talking. So let's get on to this next one. And sometimes it's hard to see because I'm using this kind of gloss one. My favorite sealant to use, I get asked quite a bit. And look, there's sealants for different things. It just depends on what you're using to what sealant works. But my favorite sealant that I really do like is the Casmanite sealant. It's very, very good. It honestly is. It's a really great sealant. So that's the one that I do suggest. Of course, there's some eco ones, but you've got to get them overseas, and they're really expensive to get to Australia. When I say expensive, you know, they're in hundreds of dollars when you buy, because you have to buy a few tubs usually with the shipping. So it's really expensive. The Casmanite's still not super cheap, but it's great for Australia because it's in Australia. It's made here. So, you know, really easy. So anyway, that's the one, like I said, I suggest. And if you can see the kind of dust on my hands, that's from the bottom of this because it's not sealed. So if you don't seal it, that's what will happen. But I'm going to just do the outside, and I'm going to seal this bit once they're dry, actually. Now, I can't remember if I showed you before, but anyway, this is one of them. And this is pretty much what the new labels are going to look like. So each one will have an image, and then they're going to look beautiful. Now, something that I wanted to talk about that has given me a lot of grief in making candles. I mean, I love making candles. I do. I really find it therapeutic, and I just love doing it. The only problem is you have a lot of vanillin scents, and the problem with the vanillin scents, as beautiful as they are, unfortunately, they can send like yellow bits on the candle. They can just, you know, make it a bit of a nightmare. So, you know, it can turn the wax horrible colors, can turn it a pinky color or so on, or even a brown, or even bright yellow streaks through it. And I've definitely had that. So the only option you've got is either, you know, making the wax brown, just putting a dye in it or something. But if you want to keep them white, sometimes you have to drop the line. So I've decided I'm going to drop the ones with the vanilla in them. And I mean, I'm known more for floral scents anyway. So I'm going to have, you know, I'll still have some driftwood and sea salt and things like that. But the caramel, I'm going to drop that just from candles. I will still have caramel sea salt in my body butters and lotions and things like that because it's really popular. It's very, very popular. But anyway, it's just a bit of a headache, and I thought, look, why stress myself? It's not worth it. Let's just get rid of that and start again on the next thing. So anyway, I thought I would mention that because, you know, it's tricky, friends. It's tricky. And sometimes you've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to say to yourself, okay, this is not working. You know, and I was pulling my hair out, and then of course I do wholesale. So if I send that to wholesale and then in a couple weeks time it goes yellow, they're going to say, hey, this is ugly. How am I going to sell this? So, you know, and I don't want somebody bringing that back saying, oh, we're really disappointed. The wax has turned a funny color. And I've tried lots of different waxes. It doesn't matter what I do. That's just the way it is. Yes, you can try other vanillins. Or other vanilla sort of products or caramel products, but generally they're pretty much all the same. They're all going to discolor. But some people don't mind that, but I do. So anyway, we're going to leave that line. So that's my reason for that. Now let's get going with the next one. So this is my next one. This is a beautiful one. I do love this color. Now, if you're wondering how I'm getting a lot of these beautiful colors, I don't really use very much paint. So I know acrylic paints, you can use them and they're fine to use, but it actually makes Hydrostone, Hydrocal and things like that I use. It makes them go super thick, and you got to get them in the mold pronto, super fast. So rather than giving myself that big fat headache, I'm like, I'm not even going to bother doing that. So I actually buy pigments. I buy them from a lady, I think she's in Canada, and I buy it on Etsy. She's really good. They're not cheap, but you only need one tiny drop, so it does work out quite affordable. I think the other night I spent another $110 on more pigments that are going to come. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about, if you can see, like there's a tiny little air bubble here. I never worry about that. Don't worry, don't get too particular. I've said this in a few videos. Now, I think as makers, we are really over the top particular, but I promise you, most people that buy it really don't care. They don't even look at that. And the reason they don't look at it is really, let's be honest, it's not that important, one tiny little dot. But I think as makers, we're just like, oh my God, that's not perfect. But I mean, go to a Lush store and, you know, I've said this a million times. I mean, Lush have made a living out of products not being perfect. So just don't try and make them perfect. There's no need to make them perfect. You know, this is the whole thing at the moment, having that kind of organic, crazy look. So that's what I'm all about, my friends. So we're going to just keep going and, you know, like I said, we're just giving it, it's so easy, I mean, honestly. But look, you know what, I'm going to laugh about this. And, you know, I know a lot of you that have businesses will get me. Do you know, I have so many people that say, oh my God, relax, just, you know, don't be so busy doing this. But I know a lot of people that sell a lot of products and they tell me they're up at 3 in the morning sometimes getting them ready. And this is a part of your business. If you want the business to really grow and you're super keen on it being extremely professional, you know, and, you know, I mean, it's okay to work at a market if that's what you like, but if you want it to be more than that and you're really trying to build a big brand, it takes time, it takes a lot of passion and a lot of sleepless nights. Let's be honest here. No big business has made it by going to bed at 8 p.m. So a lot of times, you know, I do have to come outside into my shop out here and do all of these things. I mean, that's just a part of life. It really is. So if you really want to be successful, just remember that you can't just watch Netflix at night. Yeah, there are some times I do, but a lot of times you can't. I mean, you know, a business selling wholesale in particular means that you need to get onto these orders as soon as you can. You need to have things on the shelf, which isn't always easy. There are many times that I definitely don't get to that stage. But what I'm trying to say, I guess, is, you know, it's just a part of it. You have to be prepared to not go to bed early sometimes and to stay out here until you get the job done. Because if I just tell my wholesale clients, oh, I'm tired, I don't have time, they don't really care about that because, I mean, yes, they care, but at the end of the day, they need their products. They want them to sell on the shelf. And if you can't deliver, they will just go to someone else. So that's the one thing that I just wanted to say, that, you know, there's a lot of different people in this world, and sometimes wholesale is not for everyone because it means you're selling products at a lower price and you have to get a huge volume out. And sometimes, you know, I could sell thousands of dollars a month just on lotion or just on, you know, candles or whatever. So, and to give you an idea, in the last month, I think I've sold over $5,000 on fair alone, or I think it's wholesale or fair, I can't remember. But that's a lot of money for a single maker to have to make, as well as have to do YouTube and all of these things. And, you know, I tell you the money value so that you can understand that realistically, that is $10,000 of retail value of things I have to get out the door. So that's what I mean. You can't just say, well, I'm tired, rest. That's just not what this is. That's not what I've signed up for. But as time goes on, then you hire more people and then you can actually afford to do more things. So as I've gone along, you know, I've actually got my daughters in to help and things like that and give them some money. So, you know, but when you first start, you just have to be prepared to do all of this yourself. And, you know, I try and keep it real. I'm really honestly trying to be really transparent so that people understand. And when I see a lot of people give up on their business, it means that they're too tired, not obviously, but a lot of times they're too tired. They didn't realize what was involved. They didn't realize how hard it was. And sometimes they're just struggling to get the sales. And I totally understand that. It took me a very long time, years actually, to get to a stage of getting a lot of sales. But the longer you stick to this, the more likely you are to succeed. And just remember, if you leave this race, somebody else is going to take your place. That's just the way, wholesale business works. So whether you want to shop for yourself, wholesale, there's lots of different ideas. The one thing with wholesale is, yes, you lose money on the products because you're giving a discount, but remember, usually you don't have to have a shop front. And that's the bonus. Usually there's no shop fronts. You're saving all the money in that. But, if you really want to sell products at retail prices, honestly, you need a shop or a market. Eventually after a market, you really do get to a stage where you probably need a shop. That's my opinion on it. But shops at the moment, it's a tough gig, my friends. Really tough gig. And I know from my daughter, because I've been working here wholesale, and then I've been working at my daughter's shop as well, helping her out. So I'll be there this weekend as well, helping her out. And, it's really tough, you just don't get people like you used to get years ago in the door, but they are slowly coming back to retail. I've definitely noticed that. And my daughter's shop's doing quite well. We're really happy with the figures, and we are out in Warragul, which is a little bit further out. But just because you're further out of Melbourne or your city, it doesn't mean that you're going to struggle with sales. Sometimes it's better. There's more of a tourist area where people kind of come through that. But anyway, let me get on to this next one. Following on from last night, my lovelies, here are some of my gorgeous shower steamers. I've been up since 5:30 in the morning getting some of these ready. This was a small batch because this is a new recipe. I am actually creating a shower steamer and bath bomb book on my Patreon account. So there'll be one that people can purchase if they want. And I want to bring a few recipes that are different price points to make on there. So this one was mostly like waters and things like that, no oils in this one. So anyway, that's a little interesting, isn't it? So, but anyway, it turned out lovely. It's pretty much dry already and totally rock hard. So let me just show you. And that's only a few hours ago. So, but we'll leave it for a couple more hours and bring you back. So here I am, my friends. I'm actually in the shop. We're going to fix some more of these candles and I'll show you. But another thing that I did this morning, because I have been a busy bee, is organizing a few more aprons. I've had so many requests for different aprons and so on. And we will be bringing out some Christmas ones, which will be fun. But here is some so you can see. So this is the royal blue. I don't have heaps in the royal blue, but I've been madly trying to go and get them. So this one says, of course, a natural soap maker. And we do have I think we've got 50 or 60 different aprons. So we have lots. So you don't need to worry. I promise that we've got some. This one is the popular one. Lots of people love this. Isn't it cute? So that's in royal blue, but I have that one in black as well. And most of them come in both colors. So the one that says natural, I think that one's going to be popular. And I love this. I think this is so cute. So anyway, this one says, I love to soap, be creative, bubble up the world. So I think that's really darling, isn't it? So anyway, they're just a few of the aprons. So I'm going to bag those up, make them all gorgeous. And that's something that we're going to do. And in the future, I'm going to literally have everything boxed. We will even create some gift boxes that we maybe will have aprons or t-shirts or something like that. I don't know. But this is my goal, to have everything boxed. But it's going to take a long time. This will not happen this year. I think I'll be doing this right up to the end of next year. And then once I have the basis of all the boxes, then it's going to be easy. Then it's just one little box at a time as I create something or whatever. And I think I'm just going to keep with the same girl, which I'll show you. So she's on this one, on this beautiful soap box. So, and I'm going to keep with the gloss look. I think I really like it. And then after a while too, what I'm going to do is once I have all the boxing done, then I'm going to go to long story short, and I'm just going to get all my labels actually professionally printed so that I don't have to do it here. Because as you get busy, the thing that takes time, honestly, is printing, cutting, and all of these kind of little things. But at the start, my friends, you got to do this, whether we like it or not. I know it's monotonous and boring, but You know, I still cut my own labels because it's the only way, you know, I sort of we're on a real tight budget. But the one thing that you can do with that is use printable vinyl. It really will make your soaping or candle or whatever business look so much nicer. It's much more professional than a paper that you're going to put contact on. And that's how I started at the start. So always be thinking what we can do. So that's for that. So I'm going to get over to the candles, fix the rest of the labels, but let me whiz around and show you how gorgeous they look. So far, these are the new labels. And the reason I did this at the start, I just had one little brown label, but I did have a few people saying, oh, what scent is that? And I thought, okay, that's fair enough. It wasn't really clear. So I thought, make these labels. So they look really good. I really love them. They've been all made in printable vinyl. And that way, if someone doesn't like it, they can just pick them off. It's not like a sticky tape where they're just going to stay on and you can't get them off. You will be able to pull these off if you need to. But anyway, don't they look lovely? Like, I really, really love them. I think they just look beautiful, and it adds that gorgeous touch to, you know, my lovely candles. So, and then of course that is the next one. But I do have plenty more to keep going with. So I'm going to keep going with those today. I hope you have really enjoyed this video. Just a little bit of behind the scenes, what I'm up to. I will be bringing some more Patreon only exclusive videos as I'm going along. I'm working on those at the moment, my friends. But anyway, this is for my YouTube friends as well. So I'm going to see you gorgeous people on the next video.